Hey there guys, Fave here, and today we're going to talk about the ugliest Roblox item in history. Now I know that's a very strong statement to make and it's very loaded, but if you've been watching my videos for a super long time, and I'm talking like 7+ years, there was this hat I used to bash all the time, and people always used to ask me, why do I hate this hat so much? And what is that hat? Well, I guess you're gonna have to find out after I tell you today's challenge. Today's challenge is, if your name has a vowel in it, then smash that like button. Also, I noticed that most of you aren't subscribed, so what are you doing? Go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell, and I will deliver the Statue of Liberty to your doorstep. Happy birthday. It's not your birthday? I don't care. Okay, so we have to rewind the clock all the way back to 2013. Roblox was still regularly releasing limiteds, and Roblox started to exercise this feature a lot more known as the timer. Now, they don't really do it much anymore, but basically, when Roblox would release a hat, they would sometimes put it on a timer, which means it would go off sale after a specified amount of time. And they used to do this more than they would release limiteds, because limiteds have a certain amount that people buy, and then you can't buy it anymore unless you're buying it from another user, whereas hats with timers, any amount of people could buy them, 1 million people could buy them. It's just, it would be set on a timer. Sometimes it'd be a limited with a timer, and some timer items are really cool and good and became limited and were very successful. But some timer items were just atrocious. And I have to introduce you guys. First we have to hop in my time machine. But now, before I can talk about the item though, I do have to talk about the items that came before it. So, back in 2011, a very high demand, high Robux, super expensive item was called the Azarath Lord of the Void. Sort of like the Lord of the Dance, except with less dancing and more wrath. This is described by Roblox as a horror item, and it's a pretty spooky, ominous item with 2 horns coming out the side. Not everyone's gonna like this item, but it definitely has its appeal to certain groups of people. It has these ominous purple eyes inside the hood, and yeah, it looks very outdated in modern Roblox, but back then, this was worth over 1 million Robux, in a time when not many items are worth 1 million Robux. Nowadays, they've gotten pretty forgotten, but they are pretty rare. Now, to continue off of the Lord of the Void, you have the Lord of Entropy, which is another Crimson Wrath item. This one looks like you're wearing like a garbage can on top of your head with some freaking horns coming out. I don't know, worms in the garbage can? Is this Ratatouille too? I don't know. But this is Crimson Wrath, Lord of Entropy. It's not the best looking item, but it definitely has its fans. And then you have the maxed hood of the Doom Speaker. Now, of course, this hat isn't related to the other 2 hats, but I must note it's like the same kind of audience like this kind of hat too. It's another hood, it goes over your head, and it's pretty rare. Now, it's not worth 988 billion Robux like these people want you to believe, but either way, these were all items that weren't too bad, you know? But then the year was 2013, and it was very normal at the time for Roblox to release retextures. Like, that was nothing strange. Roblox wasn't blowing anyone's minds by making retextures. And what if I told you that a hat released in 2013 still has not made a profit to this day, 8 years later, with the ever-inflating Roblox economy, and, you know, every item just keeps going up over the years? What if I told you that this item, if you bought it for its original price in 2013, you still would not have made a profit 8 years later in 2021? And what is this hat I'm talking about? Well, let's hop right into my time machine. So, what originally started out as a retexture by a user named iBarrage eventually was published to the catalog. And this was the normal way that a lot of hats became a thing. Dominus and Furnace was a retexture by Hiccup789, and the list could go on of retextures that became real items. The Rainbow Barf Face was made by a user, and it was later published to Roblox. I don't think that user was ever paid, but there's something in the terms of service that claims all assets uploaded to Roblox belong to Roblox. Anyways, I can't hop in my time machine deep enough to show you its original price, but trust me, I remember it like it was yesterday, okay? It was a dark night in May 2013. Roblox decided to release a new item, a retexture of the Lord of the Void, added to the Crimson Wrath series. And this would be called Crimson Wrath, Lord of the Magma. Sort of like Lord of the Void, except with less wrath and more fire. Now, when I tell you that this hat is ugly, it's ugly. And I don't want to hear y'all in the comments telling me, bro, this looks so cool. I would totally wear Lord of the Magma. I don't want to hear it. This is the ugliest hat on Roblox. No contest. And trust me, I made it my agenda to make sure that everyone who owned this hat would be burned, and this hat would be worthless in the end. Okay, I don't know what 16 poor souls like this hat on Facebook, but their opinion is just straight up incorrect. Okay, so originally this hat was released for 45,000 Robux and placed on a timer for a few days. Now, what evidence do I have to back up that claim? Well, let's take a look here. Now, before the hat came out, people were like trying to predict how much the hat would cost. This thread says, OMG, I know what's gonna happen with Lord of the Magma. 100,000 ticks on a timer. Well, he definitely got it right that it would be on a timer. And yeah, I guess the hat leaked before it came out like most items did back in 2013. This person said Lord of the Magma wouldn't go limited. Well, it did. And it's confirmed here in this thread where someone asked what happened with Lord of the Magma, 45,000 Robux on a 24-hour timer. Now, 24 hours is far too long to make an item rare, especially in a time like 2013 when Roblox Plus was very prevalent and people would find out about items rapid fire. 24 hours is enough time for most people to buy an item. And Lord of the Magma definitely sold its numbers. 254 copies were sold. For a 45,000 Robux item that looks this ugly, it's going to be very hard to make a profit. Now, at first, it seemed to make a small profit. As you can see, right after it went limited, it was selling for 60,000 Robux, but as you can see, the price was plummeting very quick. When it first went limited, it sold for almost 100,000 Robux. But as you can see, the price just plummeted down to nearly 0 Robux instantly once people realized how ugly, how common, and how disgusting this hat was. And the downward trend would continue, because if we fast forward from May 31st, 2013 to June 8th, 2013, just 1 week later, it's selling for 10,000 less Robux. The graph is just a complete mess. People keep selling it, but you can see the clear downward trend here. The recent average price is plummeting. And yeah. And the future wasn't looking pretty for this hat, okay? And now this hat had a lot of haters. And one of those very bold, very open haters was this young man named Fave with 2 A's. Except back then, my username wasn't Fave with 2 A's yet. That wouldn't happen until October 2013. So yes, I was 6Kenny6 on the forums talking mad trash. So here's someone talking about a trade they did for Lord of the Magma. And here's me replying, you lost. Lord of the Magma is gonna dip down low. And then here I am saying, Lord of the Magma is garbage. And then here's me saying, I don't want your crappy garbage Lord of the Magma. But realize that Lord of the Magma is garbage. Underpay. Lord of the Magma is garbage. And this person asked a question, Lord of the Magma plus what equals classic fedora? And I said, Lord of the Magma plus Domino Crown plus Eccentric Shop Teacher plus Dominus Imperius. Lord of the Magma is trash. I was basically saying that Lord of the Magma has negative value, and I would continue saying stuff like this. I would rather give my Clockwork Shades away than accept a Lord of the Magma for free. Lord of the Magma is worth negative Eccentric Shop Teacher times 99999. Lord of the Magma equals Eccentric Shop Teacher to the power of negative 999999999. And then here I was, expanding upon my point, making the powers even bigger. Yes, I did a to the power of Ception. Who gonna stop me? Giving someone a free Lord of the Magma is like scamming. Raffle. Lord of the Magma is worth a huge number with some letters in it, and there's a negative sign in front of it. You'd lose by a couple of million Eccentric Shop Teachers. And for those of you that don't know, Eccentric Shop Teacher is one of the rarest limiteds on Roblox, worth millions of Robux and is basically unobtainable. In 2013, it was still the rarest item on Roblox worth millions of Robux and unobtainable. I was basically saying that this thing was worth negative millions of these. And yeah, my point was pretty clear in stating how ugly and undesirable this hat was. I was cyberbullying it. Lord of the Magma failed because it was overpriced and looked ugly with no demand. And then even as recently as 2017, I was being very harsh to Lord of the Magma owners. You own Lord of the Magma, so your whole life is an L. His whole life is an L! That is so savage. What is wrong? Now, so why did I hate... Now, me hating Lord of the Magma extended even further. It extended to the Fave cinematic universe, where I invented some weapons in my videos that were so powerful, they were powered by how horrible the Lord of the Magma was. For example, in the video Guest Apocalypse, which came out on June 23rd, 2014, Fave finds a chest in the middle of a zombie apocalypse of guests. And you want to know what was in that chest? You found the Lord of the Magma launcher. Please don't kill humanity with this. So what I did to make this video is I took a rocket launcher that fired really fast rockets. I replaced the missiles that the rockets would fire with Lord of the Magma meshes. And I made the explosions much bigger. And this would become my companion weapon in the Guest Apocalypse. And this weapon would make a lot of appearances in future videos. As you can see by the action presented in this video, this thing would just obliterate guests due to the evil power of Lord of the Magma. And we go ahead and fast forward all the way to 2017, 3 years later, in Guest Apocalypse 3. Not a lot of people saw this video, but basically, you fast forward in the video, and I really got the new upgrade. I mean, check the window. There's a lot of guests, and they're coming to get me, okay? I mean, these are the 2017 guests. They're more ruthless than the old ones.
Crap, they found me.
Dual Lord of the Magma launchers! Activate!
Yeah, dual Lord of the Magma launchers. I need to double the power to fight these guests. And yeah, that's another one of my wild inventions. Now, people would often ask me, Fave, why do you hate Lord of the Magma so much? Well, it all boils down to a few reasons. Now, first of all, you have to remember, this hat was originally on sale for 45,000 Robux in 2013. It still, to this day, has an average selling price of 32,000 Robux. And you have to remember that Roblox takes a 30% tax on everything you sell. So you're getting more like 20,000 Robux for selling it on average. That means if you spent 45,000 Robux in 2013, which is worth over 100,000 Robux now, and sold your Lord of the Magma now after all these years, you would be losing over 80,000 Robux when you account for inflation. Yeah, okay. Now this is such an anomaly of an item because almost every other item from that era, even the failed ones, are profiting now after all these years. But this one is just such a massive L. But it doesn't just go down to the Robux. I mean, there are failed items that I enjoy and I respect a lot. There's the linked sword, which I think is a cool gear. But even proving my point further, this Link sword, which was 47,000 Robux and 100 stock, used to be a huge failure. But considering that it's pretty rare now, and you have to shell out at least 300,000 Robux to buy it, that's a big profit from 47,000 Robux. So yeah, most of the failed items back then recovered. Lord of the Magma did not. But what it really comes down to is how it looks. I mean, just look at it. This is the ugliest item on Roblox. Do I have to turn on 3D mode? Do I have to really prove my point? This looks like Pompeii, the last thing they saw before they all died, dude. Like, this is the most evil, disgusting hat ever. It's like I don't even know. I don't have words to describe how ugly and undesirable this horrible excuse of a hat is. I never want to think about this hat ever again, and this is a video I've been meaning to do for quite some time. People ask me why I hate it so much. It's because of how ugly it is. It's so ugly that not even its mother wanted it, and it probably left it at the fire station, where then the firefighters even rejected the baby and threw it onto the Roblox catalog for 45,000 Robux on a 24-hour timer. Just to fail 8 years later. And that's pretty much all I have to talk about today. Do you like Lord of the Magma? Do you know someone that owns it? I'm sorry about your luck. Your opinion is wrong. But yeah, you know, don't attack people. Spread positivity, good vibes. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and hit bell Fave too. Follow me on Instagram at Fave here. Join my groups Roblox, Fave Club, and Fave's Cave. Limited edition Valentine Wumble Belt is out now. I didn't even mention that in the video, but yes, it's important. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to talk about today. So, join my Discord server, Discord.gg/Fave. And it's your boy Fave, and I am